Hello, fourth grade. This is Mr. Sweet coming with you with the Screencastify lesson on area of irregular shapes or rectilinear shapes. And I wanted to make this for all fourth grade, not just Mr. Sweet's class, and know that we all miss you guys so much. We would much rather be in person giving this lesson, but just under everything that's happened, we have technology that can kind of take place of what we need to do. So again, we're going to look at finding the surface area of irregular shapes or rectilinear shapes. And we'll get started with our first shape. So I'm going to draw out, let's do this one. Draw out our first shape. Now, we all know the area equals your length times the width. So let's put some dimensions on this irregular shape. So I'm going to put 12 millimeters at the top, side over here, 9 millimeters, 6 millimeters at the bottom, 6 on this edge over here, 3 over here. Now, normally when we do length times width, we would just take and we would multiply 12 times 9. So area would be 12 times 9, but we know when we go to find area 12 times 9, the problem with doing that is we are still missing a chunk. So area, if we did 12 times 9, we'd multiply to get our dimensions. But the problem with that is we're still missing this piece over here. So we have to take a few extra steps to find the area of these two shapes. We're going to break them up so we can get the correct area. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the dimensions, and what I like to do, and I tell my students, is to break it up by boxes. So for example, we'll look at, let's see, the top box. Okay, so what we'll do is you can cut it any way you want. What I'm going to do is just cut it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll just cut it this way, and we're going to go ahead and label the top one box A. Okay. Now, if you look at box A, I'll just label over here box A. We have to find the length and the width for this area. So box A, we know if we look at the length and width, we know the length is 12. 12 times, and then we know the width is 3. So box A is 12 times 3, which is 36 millimeters. So if it helps, you can actually just put box A, the area for this box is 36 millimeters. And then we're going to go ahead and look at this bottom part here, this other box. I'll make this one green. So box B, we have to find, again, the length and the width of just box B. So box B, if you look, I'm going to go ahead and look at this, the length over here. So that's pretty much a straight shot there. So it's going to be 6 length times width. And don't get confused. We want to use the 6 over here. 6 times 6 is 36. If I want to come back to this 9, remember the length of both the edge on this side includes the edge for box A and B. So you don't want to use a 9 in this for box B because, again, that's including the area or the edge of box A and B. So we only want to use this edge over here and this edge here to get our area of box B. So then we know box B is 6 times 6 is 36. Now, so if we know this is 36 millimeters, and if we know box A is 36, our last step, remember there's a couple extra steps other than multiplying length times width, is you add the two together. So you're going to add 36 plus 36. And if you add those two together, you get 72 millimeters squared. Again, this is a irregular shape or a rectilinear area. So it's just a matter of taking your time and looking at breaking it down by your different boxes to find your total area. Now let's look at another one. And this time, you guys, I'm going to have you guys pause the video and see what you come up with, and we'll check our answers together. So I'm going to erase. Erasing. And we'll look at another shape. We'll use a different shape. So I'll use black for this one. And I'll draw my shape over here. A lot of my students say I'm an artist, so I'm good at drawing. And when I say that, I'm only joking. But straight enough. So let's give this irregular shape some dimensions. So I'm going to put 10, an MI. That's just abbreviation for miles. We're going to do 2 here. This edge here will be 8 miles. This will be 7 miles. We'll put 18 miles here. We'll put 9 miles on this side. Okay. So you really could, it's really however you think is better. You want to look for those friendly numbers. Those numbers are going to work out when you divide your boxes up. But again, you could cut your boxes this way. So you can do box A over here or B over here, or you could do cut it this way. And it doesn't matter. Your answer will come out the same. So I'll get you started with this one. And I'm just going to go this route. And I'm going to go ahead and dissect this box down the middle here. And I'm going to label this one box A. So again, I'm going to put over here box A. Remember, is length times width to get your area for box A. Okay, and then box B, I'll go ahead and let's make this one green. And then we'll label this one box B. Same thing, box B is length times width equals your area. Okay. So what I want you guys to do is get some scratch paper out. I want you to pause the video, and I want you guys to find the area for box A, for box B, and then add those two together to get my total surface area of this whole irregular shape. So go ahead and pause the video. When you're done, just hit play. All right, welcome back. And I'm wondering how many of you guys paused the video, or how many just hit play just to see what the answer is. I trust you guys. I think you all paused it. So let's look at box A. So box A, go back to blue. Box A, Remember, we got to do our length times our width. So we're just going to do 10 times 9. And we know that is 90. And over here, we'll put this back in box A, 90 square miles. And then for box B, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this edge here and get our length, which is 8. And we're going to go ahead and get our width of this edge over here. Again, we're only finding the area of box B, so 8 times 7. So we know that's 56. Remember your last step, if you guys did this, it's 90. You're going to add the two together, so you can add both plus box A and B together. You're going to take 90 plus 56. And then we get 0 plus 6 is 6. And then 9 plus 5 is 14. So we have 146 square miles. Now, check your answer, 146 square miles. If you didn't get that, you can rewind this video. You could rewind Mr. Sweet as many times as you want. I won't get mad. And that's the beauty of Screencastify and all these embedded videos, is just rewind it and see which step you miss. Okay. Now, while we're looking here, before we move on past this problem, again, we know area is length times width, but perimeter, one formula for perimeter is you just add the sides together. So we know on a square, it's side plus side plus side plus side. But in this case, it's not a perfect square, so we're just going to add all those sides together. And one trick I'd like to show you guys is when you find perimeter of an irregular shape, is when you go around, I just start at the top. So for example, at 10, I'll start here at 10. And I'll just write 10 over here, but I want to kind of track what I've already kind of wrote down. So once I write 10, I'm just going to mark that out. I'm going to go to my next measurement here, this edge, which is 2. So I'll write 2 there, mark that out. Then I'm going to go to this edge here, which is 8. I'll mark that out. 7, mark. Then I get this big long bottom edge here, so I'll make that an 18. Okay. And then there's a 9 over here, and I'll add that. So I've marked that out, so they're all accounted for. Again, you can make friendly numbers. You can add them all together like this. It's really whatever you think. So I'll do 2 plus 8 is 10, 17. So 2 plus 8, 10, 17. And then I'll go to 25, and then 25 plus 9 is 34. 3 over. So if I was to do this, it'd be 54 miles, but it wouldn't be square, just 54 miles. That would be the total edge distance if I was to add all these together. So again, just the point is, when you guys are finding perimeter, just make sure you're marking as you go to kind of track your